Hari Om. Hari Om. Welcome to Satsang, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed the holiday celebrations so far. Thank you for being here with us this evening. Thank you to those joining online also. So we'll begin with the practice of Kirtan, some chanting. If you would like to follow along, there are the blue booklets in the back. We'll start with some of the opening slokas on page 9 all together. Feel free to join in if you would like or listen. And then when we get to page 12, we'll move into call and response chanting. So I'll chant a line and then we'll all respond together. So beginning with 3 Oms, finding a comfortable seat. Now call and response, page 12. Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
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 Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Sham.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Sham.
Hari Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om.
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 Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om.
Chit Guru Chit Kana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Shivananda 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda 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 Rakshamam.
Shivananda 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 Rakshimam.
Shivananda 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 Pahimam.
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 Shivananda, Shivananda, Shivananda Rakshamam.
Shivananda, Shivananda, Shivananda Rakshamam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
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 Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
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 Shri Guru Jaya 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 Guru Sachidananda.
Jaya Guru Jagat Guru Sachidananda.
Jaya Guru Jagat Guru Sachidananda.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sachidananda.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda 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 Guru Sachidananda. Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda. 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 Sambasada Shiva, Sambasada Shiva, Sambasada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
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 Sambasada Samba Sada Shiva Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shivam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Hari Para Shakti Palayama.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Para Shakti Palayama.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Hari Para Shakti Palayama.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Para Shakti Palayama.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Hari Para Shakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Para Shakti Palayama.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Hari Para Shakti Palayamam.
Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Para Shakti Palayama.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Hari Para Shakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Para Shakti Palayama.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shivaya Namah, Om Shivaya Namah, Shivaya Namah, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shivaya Namah, Om Shivaya Namah, Shivaya Namah, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shivaya Namah, Om Shivaya Namah, Shivaya Namah, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shivaya Namah, Om Shivaya Namah, Shivaya Namah, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya,
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya,
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya,
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya,
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om.
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 Om Shakti, Om Shakti.
Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om
Om 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 Shakti Om Shakti
Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om
Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om
Shivoham 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 Soham
Shivoham 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 Soham
Shivoham 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 Soham
Shivoham 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 Soham
Sahachidananda Swarupoham
Sachidananda
Swarupoham Sahachidananda Swarupoham Sahachidananda Swarupoham Shivoham 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 Soham Shivoham 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 Soham Sahachidananda Swarupoham Sahachidananda Swarupoham Shivoham 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 Soham 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 Sahachidananda Swarupoham Sachidananda Swarupoham Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
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 Hari Om Hari Om Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om Hari Om 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 Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari Om Hari Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari 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 Om
Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari 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 Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari 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 Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari 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 Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari 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 Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om,
Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Om.
Shanti,
Shanti Om.
Shanti, Om.
What a beautiful kirtan. Thank you so much, everyone. And Sister Vani, Krishna Kumari, Deepika, Jivana, Premajoti, and Satnam. Thank you. Very lovely. Thank you. And thank you for all of you that came here on this cold Saturday evening. Happy Saturday to you all. My name is Swami Sugunananda. On behalf of Satchitananda Ashram Yogaville, we'd like to welcome you to this evening's satsang. Satsang meaning a gathering of seekers of spiritual truth. And all of you that are joining us from home via Vimeo streaming. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stand, if you are able, and repeat the prayers that are on your sheet, the yellow prayer sheet. Auspiciousness be unto all. Perfect peace be unto all. Fullness be unto all. Prosperity be unto all. Happiness be unto all. Perfect health be unto all. May all see good in everyone. May all be free from suffering. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You may be seated. And now they're not ready and they haven't cleared the stage, so we have to say something to give them more time. Let's see, what are we going to do this evening? First, we're going to watch a video of Sri Gurudev, and then our beloved Munoz sisters will surprise us with a beautiful Colombian dance, a native dance from North Colombia, from Bogota, on stage. It's a real treat. And then Reverend Kumari DeSachy is going to answer some questions that people are asking. The questions are in the basket. Did anyone else have questions? Did anyone else fill out any questions? No, that's it? Just two, okay. All right. And then we will have an Arati and go home. That's it. It's going to be very nice and short satsang. Okay, so in the following video, our Gurudev is speaking December 24, 1990, and he has a very special Christmas message for us. Please enjoy. Is a couple of days late.
In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a promise given to us all by God, the Lord Krishna, that whenever there is any need for the humanity, the need comes when the righteous deeds dim down, and then the vicious people take the upper hand. The unrighteousness becomes prominent. I will be there myself. That is a promise given unto us by the Lord to protect the innocent and to punish the wicked. And it looks like it has happened many times. That's why I said whenever there is the need, that shows it has happened many times before. Because in the nature, everything revolves. It's a constant cycle. As time goes by, things turn the other way, swing to the other extreme. And therefore, the Lord has to come to set right things. The birth of Jesus also is one of that. He sent his incarnation or he himself incarnated. Though in the Bible we say he is the Son of God, he is the image of God. That means God incarnate. Avataram we call it. So probably some 2000 years back, there was a need. And the Lord himself came in the form of little baby. And he started in a very simple place, in a manger. Whoever thought that little baby would transform the lives of so many millions all over the world? But what is impossible for God? Nothing is impossible. God can perform miracles. The same token, I just wonder why he hasn't done bigger miracles. Because still there are problems in the world. I don't know how often he has to come. The humanity never seemed to learn final lessons. And of course we say error is human. As human beings, we all make mistakes. Then if we don't make mistake, he will never come again. So it seemed to be a cycle. We help God to come and God helps us to get better. If there is no wicked people, if there is no unrighteous people, there is no need for God to come. So what do you call this? And that's what the Hindus call it, the divine play, the Leela of the Lord. So today we are celebrating the coming of another incarnation, or the incarnation that came 2000 years before, which is renewed every year during the Christmas season. But then what is the lesson behind all these things? Should we keep on celebrating Christmas and he keeps on coming? It seems to be happening that way. But in the midst of all this, at least some get the lesson and they don't wait here for another Christmas to celebrate. They just get graduated, jump out of the college. Because the world is a big university. Souls come, live for a while, study, gain experiences, and then they take the opportunity of the presence of the Lord. And if they are intelligent enough, and if they are matured enough, they just get the message, and then they get graduated, walk out of the university. But still there are many more still studying. There are many more still coming in. So this drama goes on and on and on and on. But behind this drama, what is that we are trying to understand what is the message that they bring forth. In fact, all the incarnations have given the same message. There's nothing new they have said. Just develop universal love. Develop universal love. Be compassionate. Bear insult. Learn to bear insult. Bear injury. Forgive and forget. These are the lessons they always seem to remind us. And that's what we see in Lord Jesus Christ's life also. Even towards the very end, when he was about to leave the body, we all know that he was crucified. He was insulted. He was injured. But he didn't keep any grudge. On the other hand, he said, they are ignorant. They don't know what they are doing. He prayed for them. He expressed compassion. He never treated them as his enemies. Instead, he prayed for their welfare. There was forgiveness. These are the messages that we get from these episodes. If we could keep that message and apply it in our life, among our people, in our social life, in our associations, then we are really getting the message of Christ. And we will be raised to that level. It is to remind ourselves this message. We keep on celebrating Christ's birth, Christ's death, crucifixion, and so on. Every saint's life. We keep celebrating. But in the midst of celebration, we should always remember the message, and not only mere remembering, applying it in life. Applying it in life. Unconditional love. Universal love. Love everybody equally. Let there be no discriminations. Friend, foe, near and dear. Because it is that divine spark pervades everywhere. We should learn to see that spark in every face, in every beings, animate and inanimate. And again, that's not easily possible unless and until we realize that we are ourselves the spark of the divine. And that's what's meant by know thyself. Know thyself first. Know thyself, capital S. your pure self. Know your real entity. Mr. So-and-so is a non-entity. Gurudev, Shivananji sings. You are the pure self. You are not Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. You are that pure self. All other things are non-entity. That has to be experienced first. When we realize that, that means our own true nature, then we have acquired a different vision, a different eye to see things. Our vision doesn't get obstructed by the superficial differences. From the knowledge of the self, you were able to recognize the self in all. If you identify yourself as the body, you only identify everybody as bodies. From the physical level, you end up seeing the other physical side. If you raise a little beyond and go and identify yourself as the mental so-and-so, according to your impressions on the mind, recordings on the mind, you can be an illiterate, you can be a literate, you can be a scholar, a fool, you can be anything. It's all in the mind, recorded. Sometimes we function in that level. Then your perception reaches up to the other mind, because you are seeing other people from your mind, mental vision, not from the physical level, but mental level. Then you want to know, is he a PhD also? What is your qualification? Are you a musician? Are you this or that? Because you are trying to see the other person from your level. Birds of the same feather try to flock together. So what we perceive outside is based on what we have perceived inside. The physical me will see only the physical you. The intellectual me will see the intellectual you. But if I recognize myself as the intuitive, the pure self, then my perception reaches to the self in you all. That is the reason why it is impossible to see God in every face. It's easy to say, see God in every face. God is omnipresent. Everywhere is God. It's true, but you don't see it because the seer doesn't recognize oneself as the God. That's why I always like to tell people, when you want to go to a church or a temple or anywhere to worship God, take God with you. If you don't take God with you, you will see only a piece of wood put cross or a bronze statue, nice sculptor sitting there, or a nice granite statue sitting there. You will see the granite and the brass and the bronze and the wood. You won't see God there because you are not seeing with godly vision. Now, it's easily said. It's all right, I understood clearly. I have to see myself as God, then only I can see everybody as God. But how on earth I'm going to see myself as God? I'm constantly defining myself as Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so. I'm American, Indian, European, this, that, French, Belgic. Constantly I'm identifying myself as somebody. How am I to get over that? Pull out all the teeth, all the identities. Identities. At least raise above those. If you want to keep the identity, keep it for the fun of the world. But don't get caught in it. Use it, but don't really think that you are that. We can use it just to play the drama. I can use my identity, the guru here. Then you all have your identities, the disciples, or whatever it is. At least for now it is so. I'm here, you are there. So I have to play. But while I play my part of this identity, I should simultaneously know that the people who are sitting there are none other than myself. They have taken different identity just for the show. They have given me this identity just for the show. Let's play the game with the superficial identities. But behind these identities, the first and foremost thing in the identity is the I. I then identifies. So we are all essentially I's. Keep an eye on that.
We are God. That's what we are. Isn't that beautiful? And now we have a very, very special treat. As promised, the Munoz sisters. It's Guru Seva, Sambhavi, and Kamala Devi, right? Guru Seva, okay. So, and her husband's here. They are Gurudev's disciples. They were born in Bogota, Colombia, and they've lived in the U.S. most of their lives. They've been here in Yogaville for many decades. They've offered their karma yoga and services to the ashram for many years. Now they're retired, and they will offer a beautiful Colombian dance. Please enjoy.
Yo bailé la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. La cumbia cienaguera que se baila suavezona. La cumbia cienaguera que se baila. Oye, el vallenato toca. Oiga, compa Nacho. Oiga, loco. Vamos, María. Ah, así. Mujeres, prendan la vela porque la cumbia emociona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. La bailan en Santa Marta y la baila toda la zona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. Y la bailan en mi tierra porque la cumbia emociona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona. Vamos a bailar la cumbia porque la cumbia emociona.
Colombia, tierra querida, himno de fe y armonía. Cantemos, cantemos todos, grito de paz y alegría. Vivemos, siempre vivemos a nuestra patria querida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida. Colombia, te hiciste grande con el furor de tu gloria. La América toda canta la floración de tu historia. Vivemos, siempre vivemos a nuestra patria querida. Tu suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Tu suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida.
Okay, so now Reverend Kumari, there she is right there, loved by many, many young people especially, okay, who are under her guidance. She's going to answer a couple of questions this evening that people asked. She became involved with Integral Yoga in 1980 and moved to Yogaville as a whole-time member in 86 and married her husband Snehan in 1990. She served as the manager of Integral Yoga Publications and editor of Integral Yoga magazine for years and was the light manager for many years. She served in the programs department and in the teacher training programs and taught for 2 years at the school at Vidyalayam, our little children who have now grown up. She also served in the program, She holds a doctorate in English, education, language arts, which opened a door to a volunteer post at the nearby Buckingham Maximum Security Prison for Men, where she taught creative writing. That is a tough job. She's the author of 2 books, Bound to Be Free, The Liberating Power of Prison Yoga, and A Vision of Peace, The Interfaith Teachings of Sri Swami Satchidananda. She's a true inspiration, and she is going to answer 2 questions for us this evening from guests. Please enjoy. Did you want the stand? Oh, sorry.
Whatever. On stage, but it's a hard act to follow, the Munoz sisters. We should dance a little. I feel so nostalgic because so many years ago when you were dancing in honor of Gurudev, Swami Satchidananda, you know, it makes me feel emotional. It was so beautiful. One sister is missing tonight. She's too busy, but what a beautiful performance. Thanks. So, it's hard to say anything when you hear Gurudev, Swami Satchidanandaji, because he says it all, really. But I'm happy to just share some of my experiences and some of my thoughts. So, 2 questions. Let's see. Can you share a few experiences from your prison involvement and how inmates benefited? Boy, I'll tell you the truth. I think I benefited and benefit because I'm still serving in the Buckingham Correctional Center. That's the name of it, really, of that facility. It's a life-transforming experience. That's all I can say. And I wrote the book about the experiences, and mostly that book expresses Gurudev's teachings from his own talks that he gave in prison, so over a period of probably about 20 years in Texas, in India, Sri Lanka, and other places, Washington, D.C., different places in this country, too. And I wrote it because I found volunteering in a prison life-transforming, really, I could say that. And I've made friends. We still correspond, even from 1996 and 7. I got a Christmas letter this year from someone who's actually getting paroled. And so I wrote that book, one, because I thought it might benefit inmates themselves. I included a hatha class at the back with all the benefits and the contraindications and all the poses described and images of them, because there already were people teaching hatha in the prison. Even though they weren't trained, they were, learning from books and other teachers who came in, more professional teachers. So there was that included in the book also. And I also thought, I hope to inspire people who were yoga teachers or had other skills or interests that they could share to volunteer in the prison. Because, Gurudev was saying in this video, this excerpt from one of his satsang talks, he was talking about universal love and seeing the God in everyone. And I'll tell you, it makes me emotional to talk about it, actually, because to this day, I was teaching creative writing, but then when they found out I was from Yogaville, which was supposed to be a secret, you weren't supposed to share anything personal. But when I first came into that creative writing class, I didn't know how to break the ice. I had never been in a prison before in that setting. There are 11 guys. They're all staring at me, and no guard in the room or anything. And what came to me was, a lot of times in India and in other places, the place where I live in is often called, a facility, and the people living there are called inmates. So somebody said, "Oh, you must live at Yogaville." I was dumbfounded. And they knew a bunch of people here because they were able to buy books. And we had a big distribution business. Some of you know about that. It's closed now. But we had a book distribution business at the ashram. And they were able to call and talk to people and buy books. So that's how I broke the ice, and it got a bit more comfortable. But when they found out that I lived here and that I could teach yoga, hatha yoga, they asked me to do that too. So we had satsangs, we had hatha classes, deep relaxation. But when I was teaching hatha and we got to the yoga nidra, the deep relaxation portion of it, and those guys, there were about 1,000 guys in the prison. It was prison for men, were lying on the mats on the floor, and they were in deep relaxation, totally relaxed. And I was looking at them, I was just looking, and I had a revelation. I thought to myself, first I thought, there but for the grace of God go I, because I don't know, I believe in reincarnation, whatever it might mean to each individual. And I just thought, I probably was in a prison once or more times, or I don't know. I just had this feeling that I could really relate to these people. And I just saw them as souls, beautiful souls. They looked like babies lying there relaxed. I was told that they were rapists, some of them, and I knew one person was a pedophile. They were murderers. They committed all kinds of felonies. There was no feeling of negativity, no feeling of fear. My heart just opened completely, and I feel that way to this day. It's a long time already. I think this is the third time that I've been there, and now after COVID, because of the pandemic, for some reason, they didn't want to have a hatha class. They didn't want to use the mats. They felt it was too difficult to clean them. So when I came to volunteer this time, they considered it a religion. It was actually, they have a list of religions. And if somebody, one of the inmates, any one of them, inquires about a religious club or class, they call it a religious group, if that particular religion, that they call it, is on the list, then they have to provide a space and a time, and if there is somebody who can come in, that person. And I couldn't believe it, but yoga was on the list as a religion. I was very surprised. But the thing is that now we can't do hatha. If we're a religion, we tried to convince people, the administration there, that hatha was part of our religion. And not everybody thinks of yoga as their religion. So anybody from any religion can practice yoga. But I didn't get very far with that. A little bit. We have the mats, but they haven't given them to us yet. So we do some chair yoga. But mostly we talk. You know, we questions come up. But I'll tell you, I'm learning so much from these people. I never think of them as prisoners. I don't think of them as inmates. You know, I really don't. I know they're there. The guys who come into this group, it's a smaller group. It's a smaller group because if they go to one religious group, they can't go to another. So sometimes the Christian club members sneak in because they know, they've practiced yoga. So I would really recommend, if anybody has a desire or, just would like to offer their services, to offer their services in a prison. And now this prison, Buckingham, was designated one of 5 prisons, facilities like this in Virginia, as an honor. I don't know what they call it technically, but they have honor programs there. And so they transferred the prisoners who might cause problems there and are disruptive, and they kept prisoners of all ages who are, really willing to learn something or to get along with everybody. So it's a nice atmosphere, actually, and not that there aren't any problems. There's a big drug problem in prisons, but it's very sattvic now, as we say in yoga. It's a very balanced atmosphere, and it feels more peaceful. And it's a pleasure to go there. I look forward to it every Monday morning, every week. And it's supposed to be from 8:30 to 10. But sometimes I leave at 11 even from there, and nobody bothers us. They're supposed to come in and tell us, but I would definitely, recommend. When Gurudev was in the body, as we say, the men at that time asked me if they could have a satsang, if he could come and have a satsang like we do at the ashram. And some of the men in that group had been practicing yoga for 24, 25 years. And one man was a Sanskrit scholar. I mean, I was learning from him, and he's really quite amazing. And so they asked me if I could ask Gurudev to come and give them a satsang. They wanted to do everything like it was at Yogaville, and they even called themselves the Buckingham Monastic Community, this group. And so I recommended that they write an invitation rather than my asking him. I can present this invitation. So they did, and he did go. It was so amazing. They said he always answered questions at that time at satsang, so they wanted to have the same format. They wanted prasad. I got permission to do everything like that. And so Gurudev came, and it was just amazing, this experience. So many people came. So many of the men, they were in the group, came to see Gurudev and to hear them and hear him. They were asking him to sign everything, to autograph their shirts, their caps. Some of them had caps. And it was really so beautiful. And it felt like a regular satsang. So then after that, they asked me to give them the ashram schedule so they could live their life just as though they were at an ashram. Of course, it was very hard for people to be vegetarian. Some of them were, but, the food isn't the greatest, and it isn't the healthiest, but they followed the meditation schedule as well as they could. And it was a great experience. And now it's a little different. The group's smaller. But we meditate. We discuss from To Know Yourself, from the Gita. Now, this time, there's a man who's originally from India in the group. And it's really interesting because he came here in 2007. I have no idea what his crime was or why he's in this facility. I never ask. Sometimes somebody tells me, but I don't impose, and I don't really care. So he though doesn't like to talk about God. He doesn't like that concept. He's very intellectual. So it's really interesting when we chant or, do the slokas, he doesn't do them. Everybody else does, and he doesn't. But I could see his heart opening up. So I don't know what his experience was and why he, maybe like a lot of people who somehow grow up in a religion and then reject aspects of it or something, but I think he's very intellectual. So it's a great experience. Another man is from Ethiopia. These guys are so sweet. I can't imagine when I'm with them that we're in such a facility. I feel like we're in a university or something, or in an ashram. And then I'll just end this answer with a little description of a man who is really hoping to come to Yogaville, who I met about a year and a half ago. He's been in that prison for 30 years. Some people describe the reason why they're in prison and, maintain their innocence. And, sometimes it may be true, sometimes it may not be, I don't know. But this man, Tim, is, he took the rap for a younger brother. They didn't have a father around, and that brother was involved in a robbery. And somebody, I don't know if somebody was killed but somebody was at least injured. But he wasn't involved in that part of it, but Tim was really worried that his brother, who was a lot younger, would ruin his life, and he wouldn't have a good life, wouldn't have opportunities. So somehow he said he confessed to the crime, and he wasn't even there. So I do believe him. He's the best person I've ever met. He's a yogi, through and through. He's so kind. People flock to him, not because he's looking for students or devotees. He's just the real thing, the real deal. And he just went up to the parole board to appeal for parole, and he hasn't heard anything yet. But he loves the ashram. He asks me questions. he's looking forward to it. He calls it his Yogaville family. I just got a letter from him, and he writes my daughter, and we all have a nice relationship with Tim, and I really hope that he does get parole. It's not easy in this state. It's very rare for people to get parole unless they're so sick that the prison wants to get rid of them, or they're costing too much money for medical care. But I've met such good friends there. Anyway, that's my prison experience. And the inmates, I mean, they benefit from the teachings, and I bring in Gurudev's books, but they have a whole lot anyway. We have an ashram prison project that we've had. It must have started in Connecticut, because it's been going on for years and years before this ashram. Now, Lakshmi Barcel, Reverend Lakshmi Barcel, has been keeping that going for years now. And we send books. So I bring in books and things like that. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, but all I know is I feel really inspired by these people, and they're inspired. Some of them feel like devotees here. The spiritual path is so full of miracles, and I think like life itself is, but you see so many miraculous experiences with people just feeling like devotees, and really really living a yogic life in such an environment that is not easy. So I would really recommend to anybody who has the opportunity to do something in a prison, because whether it's yoga or it's literacy or whatever skill that you might have, or hatha yoga, whatever it is, meditation, it's not just the activity that you're doing. It's just they really appreciate that people think about them. Some of them have lost their children, lost their families, a lot of them, disowned by their families. And so it really means a lot to them, even to correspond, by letter, or, yeah. And then please tell us of your most teachable moments with Gurudev. What lessons stick with you the most, or have been most beneficial? Every lesson, every word. I mean, how many times, have we, some of us who have been here a long time, listen to Sri Swami Satchidananda say the same thing over and over and answer the same questions over and over, always fully there to answer the question, and sometimes the same answers to the same people for 35 years, but always there, answering with love. And every question that anybody else asked would always pertain in one way or another to some situation in your life or something you were dealing with. But I don't know, I have so many stories and experiences like so many people here do. But I think one time we were at the airport, and we used to have airport satsangs. When Gurudev was traveling to different countries or different cities, he would often, our secretary would often let the devotees in that area know. And I was affiliated mostly with New Brunswick, New Jersey Integral Yoga Institute. And whenever Gurudev was in New York or in New Jersey, in Newark, we would whoever could would go to the airport, and it always turned out to be magical. Inevitably, his flight was delayed, sometimes like for 3 hours or an hour, and we would be sitting around in the airport with him, and we would be having a satsang, and other people would be walking by. It was amazing to see it. People who didn't know us or know him, they were just travelers, and they'd walk by and they would be so drawn, and they'd come and listen. And I remember one time specifically, we were sitting around. That time the flight was delayed for 3 hours, and we were all sitting at, it was very meditative. We weren't speaking. And all of a sudden, Gurudev said out of the blue, he asked, how many of you think you were chosen to come into this life? And how many feel that you chose to come into this life? And people were thinking, and, I was thinking, I closed my eyes. Nothing came to me. I had no idea if I got put into this life or I chose to come into this life. I really had no opinion. And he said, so how many people feel that they chose to come into the life? And there were a lot of people there, and a bunch of people raised their hand. And I was thinking, wow, it's amazing. They know. And I'm sitting, and it's like there was a wall in front of my mind. I had no clue. No answer came to me. And then he said, how many people think that you were sent here? And another bunch of people raised their hands. And I was thinking, God, I must be really a baby on the path, because I have no idea, not even an opinion. I have no idea. And it was just blank. And I was really hoping that he would notice, because everybody was raising their hand. And I was just sitting there like this. So then he said, Kumari, what about you? What do you think? Because I like to talk a lot usually, but I didn't say a word. What do you think? And I thought, oh gosh, I have to come up with something. I couldn't. So I said, I'm sorry, but I have no idea. I just have no idea. So he said, that's it. He said, that's what. If you don't know, you should say you don't know. So I thought, I was like, was that a compliment? Or I still don't know. I don't know anything. And I had to deal with that. And I thought, ooh, that's my ego coming up, because I'm the only one who said she doesn't know. So those lessons, had so many facets to them, and so many situations. I remember when I was giving a talk, I always type something out, in my field is writing. I taught writing, I studied writing. So I always write something out, because I don't want it to be silly or, not so much for myself, but for the ashram. I don't want to embarrass the ashram. That's what I used to think. So it had to be perfect. And I was used to listening to these very educated professors in the English department, giving these, being so articulate. And I don't come from a very educated family, so I was always thinking, I'm not good enough. I can't articulate well enough. So I'm reading, and sort of conversationally. So the next day I went for a walk down to the Lotus, and Gurudev was driving down to the Lotus, and he stopped next to me on the road, and he said, why are you reading when you give a talk? And I explained, and he said, and he said to me, you're a doctor. You have a doctorate. Why should you feel insecure? And I said, I just do. Doctorate doesn't mean much to me. It just means you worked hard for something that you wanted. But I don't want to make a mistake and look stupid, and then the ashram will look stupid. And he stopped and he said to me, well, you know, if you read something, anybody could pick up a book and read. But if you read it, people are going to fall asleep. They don't care if you make a mistake. Who notices that? They want something from the heart, something true. So that was a very good lesson. And I think I'll tell one more and then it's time, right? I could take one more short one that actually is not about me. It didn't concern me, but it concerned my husband, Snehan. And if he's looking, I don't know how he'll react if I tell this. He might be embarrassed, but I don't think so. So he was working in maintenance years ago when he first came. He was only 22. He was very young, and he was wanting to work in maintenance, and he was. And Gurudev, you know, was trained as an engineer, and he loved anything mechanical. And he brought in a car that somebody used to give him, all these old cars, and he would work on them. So he came into the garage. Snehan was there, and he asked Snehan, who's from France, by the way, could please take off the panel, the door, inside door panel. Something is wrong, it's falling off or something like that. It needs to be taken off and some screws put back in and put back on. So Snehan said, you know, okay. And Gurudev went away and Snehan started, whatever he had to do, he did, but there was one screw missing. And he couldn't find it. And he said it was there when he first took the panel off. It was there before he took the panel off. He looked, it's just a small space, you know, in the car there, and he couldn't find it. So he thought, well, it looks okay the way it is. You can't really tell. You know, he put it back, and it looked okay. It looked fine. He said, Gurudev will never notice that. I can't find it. So Gurudev came finally to pick up the car, and the minute he got into the car, he said, what happened to the screw? The last screw. So Snehan said, well, I can't find it, Gurudev. And he said, so you don't look, you don't ask anybody to look, you just think you're going to fool me, right, by putting it like that. And he said, you know, he said, I could see if an American did that. He said, but you're from France, and I always heard that the French are perfectionists. What happened to you? So I think that Snehan, you know, so many of us were so happy when we saw Gurudev and he came to see what our work was and what we were, you know, doing, what activity we were doing. But Snehan was always afraid, he said for years, that he was going to be criticized. So, but I think he learned a lesson because he's much more of a perfectionist now. Anyway, lots more stories, but maybe for another time. Thank you so much for indulging me, listening, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Reverend Kumari. That was wonderful. And yes, Gurudev never missed anything.
No.
Not a hair. He always saw everything. It's so funny. Okay, for some announcements. Okay, New Year celebration program next Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock. Who's going to be here next Wednesday evening in Yogaville? Yay. Okay, a lot of people. Great. We're going to have a wonderful time. You all coming? Okay. At 9 o'clock Wednesday evening. And we'll bring in the new year together. And I believe there's a midnight meditation at the Lotus, right? Is it at midnight? It's very powerful. Yeah. So after here, after the program's over here, we all go down to the Lotus in vans, and we meditate there for about 20, 30 minutes or something. Okay. So tomorrow morning, there's a puja in Chidambaram Temple at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock, Chidambaram Temple. Worship service. And this satsang can be seen live or recorded from anywhere on the planet on our Vimeo or YouTube pages. We will now have an Arati, which is an offering of light. The offering of light will be accompanied by the Jyoti chant, which describes the way this divine light expresses itself in the world. A small candle light symbolizing the divine light within each of us will be offered to a larger light on stage, which represents divine cosmic light. Then the little light will be offered to you, our viewers, and you may extend your hands and draw the light toward you as a blessing if you wish. We're waiting for the stage to clear. And you're welcome to stand for the Arati and join in the Jyoti chant, which is in the back of your yellow sheet. Om Jyoti 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 Swayam Jyoti 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 Param Jyoti 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 Arul Jyoti 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 Shivam Vama Jyoti Soma Jyoti Vana Jyoti Jnana Jyoti Maha Jyoti Yoga Jyoti Vata Jyoti Nada Jyoti Ema Jyoti Vyoma Jyoti Eru Jyoti Viru Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Jyoti Hey. Light, O light of self-effulgence, light, O light of absoluteness, light, O light of gracefulness, light, O light of auspiciousness, light of Shiva, light of moon, light divine, light of wisdom, light of heaven, light of yoga, light of wind, light of sound, light, delight, light of water, rising light, vital light, the only light, the only light. Give us light, O light of lights. Keep going. Om Sato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishadvahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect us, grant us wisdom's fruit. May we gain energy to know the truth. May our intellects grow clear and bright. May we cherish no ill feeling toward anyone. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kayena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmanava prakrite swapavat karomi yat yat sakalam parasmai guru varayeti samarpayami. Whatever actions I may perform, impelled by the forces of nature, my body, word, mind, senses, intellect, soul, I offer to the feet of my Sat Gurudev. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness. Jai Sri Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Jai the Sachidananda Sangha ki Jai. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend.